In today's video, we are going to replace the battery on a 2002 Harley Sportster. The first thing we have to do, of course, is to get our seat out of the way. And that seat is just held on with one screw right there. And I don't remove it, I just pull it off to the side and you can have access to that battery. Now Harley only did a side mount like this for about 6 years, from 97 to 03. So if you have a different model, your battery might actually be slid in right back here, kind of behind and below the fuel tank. In this case, this is what we're looking at. So the first thing we're going to have to do is loosen up the strap that holds it down, and we'll do that by loosening or removing that nut, and that'll be done with a 7/8 inch socket or wrench. So we're just going to loosen that up. It's probably finger tight now. Loosen it the rest of the way. Okay, and now we're going to be able to remove that strap. You take that cover, get that out of the way, and you can either take that strap off or just move it out of the way. It just fell off on its own accord. So now you have a little flexibility with the battery. So we have to remove the cables from the terminals, and there's a terminal in there. Always remove the negative first. If you try to remove the positive and your wrench comes in contact with any metal part, you're going to complete the circuit. You're going to get some sparks and some ugliness. So that is done with a 10 millimeter. I don't know why Harley puts metric and standard on their bikes, but they do. So we're going to get that off with a 10 millimeter wrench. A little tricky if you have a ratchet wrench. It might go a little easier. Okay, that's out of the way. And by the way, if you're wondering what this is just a trickle charger that I put in when I lived in Wisconsin. It was nice when I put it in storage to have a battery on it. I don't know if I need it so much anymore. I'll just leave it there. And next, of course, is to remove the positive in the same way. Now that everything's loose, I can probably just swing that battery out to give me a little easier access. There we go. Now that I moved that out, I'll be able to access that nut a lot easier. And just remove it again with the 10 millimeter. And once that's loose, you can just take the battery out. Now might be a good time to check that tray for any dirt or corrosion or anything. My cables are really super clean. My tray's really clean, so I'm just going to put the new battery in. So the first thing I'm going to do is take that plastic cover off of the new one, and then I'm just going to reverse the actions. You know, these batteries are really plain. I like that decorative plate on there. I might see if I can pry that off and use some adhesive to put it on there, because you can see the battery. And the woman at the Harley dealer looked at me like I had two heads when I asked if they had a more decorative battery. And she said, well, it can't be seen. They really should know their products better. And when you take that protective cap off, you have two brand new bolts that you can use. So I'm going to put the positive on first, just get it as good as I can, finger tight, then tighten it up with my wrench. Now don't worry about this. As I said, this is just my charger, my trickle charger, and I'm just going to put it back on. It just tucks away under the seat, but if I ever do need to charge the bike, it's really nice to be able to have that on there. Okay, so we'll tighten this up. And remember, do positive first, because right now if I were to touch this and the negative was already there and it was grounded, I'd be seeing all kinds of sparks and fireworks. And next up, we're going to attach the negative right there. It's a little tricky for me to do while holding the camera, but it's not rocket science. I'm going to put the bolt through there and just attach it. And of course, I'll be also attaching this charger cable to it right there. Now we're going to put this cap back on. And it's got a groove for the strap. And then your strap has that little hook that hooks right down underneath. I hope I can do this with one hand. And then the strap slides down the side. And it's going to hook up down here. I'll show you that in just a second. And we just tighten that up just the way that we removed it. Right down there is that strap. And let's not forget to dispose of your old battery properly. All right, that's it, pretty straightforward. The most important thing to remember is that negative battery cable is removed first and it's reattached last. Thanks for watching. I'm Mark, and this is the Average Me Channel. I'm going for a ride.